I grew up on Star Trek 4, where Jim Kirk time travels to 1986 San Francisco and Spock fulfills everyone's dreams of shutting up that guy who doesn't do headphones. It wasn't really the most adventurous thing. It wasn't even the first time the original crew time traveled, but the rest of Trek was all about adventure. Even my favorite, DS9, was that to an extent, because if you look at it from a certain point of view, it's a first contact situation that went terribly wrong. So I grew up thinking I had an adventurous streak. Well, I would have had one if I wasn't busy with school, or that I wasn't physically built for that, and that I lived in the city and I was allergic to dust, and had diabetes and needed medication that if I missed could be real bad. But yeah, it was mostly the school thing. But I could go around and explore things in video games, though not necessarily adventure video games. I liked novel new experiences. I liked discovering mechanics and seeing how they fit together. Like in Baldur's Gate 2. Oh my god, I need to pick examples that I have actual footage for. Anyway, discovering a multitude of ways that your party can fall apart.
Blood. 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 Blood.
Discovering that you can get a love interest pregnant, give birth, and stuff your child into your knapsack as you fight for the powers of Baal on in the span of what appears to be a month. Baldur's Gate 2 was freaky. Look, what I could not find in real life safely, I could seek in a video game. It was a nice place back in the day. Video games, hardly any slurs, mostly single player for me since I didn't have good internet. I could adventure, explore, discover mechanics and potential story outcomes without spoilers or whatever, and not feel like I'm missing out. Boy, times have changed.
We joke, we laugh, we suppress our trauma.
I've mentioned it before, but one of the most jarring things I've experienced is Diablo 3's release. Blizzard gave out a list of the uniques in the game before it launched. It wasn't about discovering a new thing or going, ooh, what the fuck is this? Can I make it fit in my build? No, Diablo 3 felt like a checklist among all the other problems that came with Diablo 3 and Blizzard as a whole. Don't get me wrong, I know that not all games are meant to be journeys into the unknown. Competitive multiplayer games, I don't want someone in comp figuring out how Gambit works. Figure that out in quick match or watch a guide. Even kind of competitive games that have a bit of PvP, like Arc Raiders, require some reading to get into it, as the skill tree is woefully lacking in real information. More quickly relative to what? What does it mean? What are the numbers here? But, I mean, not entirely. There were some parts of it that I could discover by myself without impacting the quality of my experience, which is honestly why I hesitate to admit how many hours I put into it in the first week. Arc Raiders was the undiscovered country, a term I am misusing terribly, but it also seems terribly accurate. I didn't have to find a map on YouTube or on some website to participate meaningfully in the game. I could read a little in-game stuff and just wander around, follow directions. The fact that the quests were vague worked in Arc's favor, at least for me, as it required some reading comprehension and very basic map reading. Nothing that would get me an orienteering badge, but certainly something that made it engaging. I could just go around and be in the world, do whatever I can, learn whatever I can, at my pace. Playing solos, I could do that forever, I think. And even in a team, I could be the one that just listens to people who know good farming routes or know where to shoot certain arc, but it feels like I ain't helping, you know? I mean, I know we're still having fun, just, you know, my friends hanging out with me, but I like being useful too. I don't want to hold the team back, which is like, I know that's a me problem and a symptom of a much larger issue, but it's also not just a me problem. It's all spoilers and day one guides now, even for single player games and movies. Even you gotta hustle to make it online, and even if you got a great take, you gotta pray that you're there first and you make your bones on it. There's a hurriedness to everything, like we must know things now, have things now, or in some cases for gaming experiences, know exactly what to do from the very beginning, even in a story-based game. Without condemning or condoning, I understand. For some people, it's because the experience for them is in the execution. I get that. Some people just don't want to experience the stress of doing something quote-unquote wrong. I get that too. For other people, it's because they don't have the time or energy anymore to experiment and explore, and for them, I mourn a little. No 5-year mission for them. No final frontier, just following in the footsteps of a guide, reducing much of the experience to a to-do list. And it's usually not their fault. It's just the way it is. I mourn that. Not everyone wants to explore, of course. But if you do, and you don't have the time and energy, I'm sorry. And even if you are fortunate like me and have the time and energy to explore and discover at your own pace, sometimes it is not up to you. Sometimes you'll get a joke on some page, a Facebook reel, a YouTube short that will just give you information you didn't want or need because an algorithm decided that it is relevant to things you're doing, or irrelevant of what you actually want or need. That totally didn't happen to me regarding Dispatch. Oh no. That can happen to anything big you play or watch. Everyone's got a clip or something that spoils without so much as a goddamn warning. And now I'm spoiled. And I guess it's nobody's fault, but there goes the experience. You can only experience something for the first time once. You know, the worst part is that it is all so involuntary, that spoiling. I was just minding my own damn business, and now I know things. I don't even drink. I think that's the core issue I have, really. It's so involuntary. Yeah, I could simply not look up a guide, but it'll come up, no matter what, whether I want it to or not. Look, there's nothing wrong with following a guide, and oftentimes it is the right thing to do, especially if you have exhausted yourself, and the discovery part stops being fun, and just becomes frustrating. I guess I also mourn that it is often not our choice anymore. Nothing feels new anymore, and unless I want to stop looking at SockMed, which is, you know, where I keep track of friends around the world, that'll likely be spoiled on something. Sometimes it'll be nothing. Other times... I also don't think that people are wrong to make those guides, honestly, unless they release those guides without full confidence and knowledge of what they're saying, or just hoping being first at the door is enough. It's the way it is, people gotta hustle. I don't know, man. I think I'm just in mourning in general. Look, I'll be the first to admit, it's not like it's gonna ruin my life or anything, but gaming is a big part of my life. Which sucks, but it's not like someone walked into my house and threw what I hope is a jar of mayonnaise at me. It's just something I miss exploring, you know? I'm not gonna say that you can't get that experience anymore. I do still get that excitement of seeing something for the first time without being accidentally spoiled every now and then. I do also understand that if I try real hard or play something a little obscure like Quasimorph or Phantom Brigade, then the chances of me getting spoiled are significantly reduced. It just feels like that's not how things are expected to be now. Could be wrong. Hope I am. You all have a great day now. Thanks for watching. I am Patinator. I'll see you later.